All of us, at some point, have been influenced by pop culture in one way or another. Some collected Pokemon caps, while others, even today, are still willing to spend hundreds of dollars on a lightsaber. Do we actually need these things? Of course not, they're just cool and we like them. Perhaps we just want to have a piece of something greater than ourselves. Something bigger. And maybe thanks to that, this very interesting automotive innovation, originally meant for the racetrack, gained popularity beyond it. I'm talking about turbofans. What are these things, what's their purpose, and how did someone come up with the idea? As soon as engineers realized they could use downforce to stick cars to the track, everything changed. It's hard to believe, but aerodynamics in motorsport evolved much more slowly than, for example, car engines. Just like in MotoGP, even a decade ago, who could have imagined that Aero can be so important? This may sound ridiculous, but the turbocharged inline-8 engine was created decades before engineers decided to put a spoiler on a car. Back then, increasing power was the main priority. People had no idea that managing airflow could unlock endless possibilities. Controlling airflow was the key to many things: better aerodynamics, better cooling, and better handling. Turbofans appeared in the second half of the 70s, and their looks weren't even considered during the design process. The most important thing was ensuring they performed their main function, cooling the brakes. As you probably know, brake overheating affects efficiency. And on the racetrack, brakes work very hard. The idea behind the design was quite simple. Install plastic caps with air ducts onto regular discs so that, as they rotate with the wheels, the air channels under the cover act like a fan, letting in cold air and expelling hot air. Just look at the Porsche 935 for a second and you'll understand why it was so effective. Massive wide-body kit and a spoiler made the iconic shape of the 911 barely recognizable. But its body wasn't the most incredible part. Actually, it was the wheels. This racing car, nicknamed Moby Dick for its long tail, was the first in the world to use turbofans. In 1983, turbofans entered the world of rally. The first was the Audi Quattro, equipped with discs and turbofans by BBS, and soon other manufacturers followed. At some point, what was originally designed for functionality became popular for its appearance. Everyone wanted a piece of a racing car. Turbofans were so cool and stylish that some car manufacturers borrowed the design for production cars. For example, the Pontiac Trans Am, Corvette C4, and BMW E34 M5. Wheel manufacturers didn't stay on the sidelines either. Here's an example from the 80s, the very stylish Autobahn Exciting X1. But why don't we see racing cars on such cool wheels these days? There are two reasons why. Reason number one, many racing series banned the use of turbofans, although this didn't happen overnight. At first, in 1990, the use of turbofans in rally was regulated by specific rules and dimensions. At that time, Toyota and Lancia began using OZ racing turbofan rims. Some teams used classic turbofan covers, some used turbofan rims, and some used both. Finally, in 1993, conventional plastic turbofans were completely banned. It turned out that, besides cooling the brakes, the latest versions were so efficient that they could suck air from under the car, effectively creating a vacuum that glued the car to the road. Turbofans were classified as movable aerodynamic parts, and such components were prohibited, especially since even a single disc coming off during a race could affect the car's handling and lead to serious crashes. Reason number two, technology has taken a big step forward in the last 30 years. It turned out that turbofans weren't as effective after all. Modern cars today are engineered with a strong focus on airflow starting from the earliest stages of design. Air is now directed to the front brakes through ventilation openings in the front bumper and exits through the front fenders. As for the rear wheels, airflow is primarily managed by the rear bumper, diffuser, and rear fender. Apparently, even the design of the rims themselves wasn't that important. And let's not forget that brake technology has also improved over the years. So basically, there was simply no longer any need for turbofans. Turbofans look great, so despite their questionable effectiveness and despite the latest achievements in automotive aerodynamics, they still live on in the hearts of many car enthusiasts. For example, Ken Block's rallycross car, the Ford Fiesta ST, had turbofans on the front wheels, just like his Ford Escort RS Cosworth, also known as Cossi V2. The reborn Porsche 935 from 2019, the modern Moby Dick, like its predecessor, is equipped with a full set of classic turbofans. And of course, there are options out there if you want to buy something similar for your Honda. For example, there are these beautiful OZ rally racing rims, just like on that legendary Celica. In addition, OZ's catalog includes aerodynamic inserts created especially for electric vehicles, which the manufacturer claims help optimize airflow. It's also worth mentioning some rotiform models, especially their so-called Aero disc. Many other manufacturers offer similar designs. Ronal R10, Ronal R50, 1552 Turbomac, TSW Rally, and Messer Turbofan. It's a bit strange that the German company BBS doesn't offer anything like that today. Turbofans were invented at a time when pushing the boundaries of what was possible and finding new solutions meant being a winner. They were created to improve the racing performance of sports cars, but they've remained as a styling feature and the only remaining piece of those legendary racing machines. And honestly, I think that's not bad at all.